Hello, my name is Eric Rogers, and this is my week 4 screencast for the Server-Side Languages course. In this assignment, we were to create a context manager application implementing the CRUD design pattern. So for this application, I have a page that displays the client's name, telephone, email, website, logo, and options to edit or delete their information. And I also have an option to add a new client. So let's go ahead and do that now. To add a new client, you would enter the full name. I'm just going to create a random user, a telephone number, an email address, and a website link. And they have the option to upload a logo. It is optional if there is not a logo chosen. It will default to a logo that I have included, so I'm going to show you that first. And the random user is created. The clients are listed in alphabetical order by client name. So here is the default logo that will appear if they do not enter a logo for themselves. They also have the option to edit the client. So I am going to actually select a logo for the client this time and just give it a random photo. And it displays here in the edit what logo they have currently on file. So I click update. It displays a message saying that the client was updated, and now you see their current logo. And as you see, we also have the option to delete the client. So if I click on delete, I will get this little pop-up that asks me to confirm it. I hit OK. You see the message that says client deleted. So now let's walk through the code. For the index PHP, which is where everything is loading up, I basically have the start of my HTML document all the way through my header. After that, I include my display clients PHP and the footer PHP, and I destroy the current session. At the top of the page, you can see the session start. For the display clients, which is what loads up all the visual client listings, I have the message that it displays at the top for the success messages and the start of a table with the table headers. Then I have the database login credentials and prepare a select statement to grab all the client's information, execute the statement, and then fetch all of the results into an associative array, and then use a for each loop to loop through all of this information and bind the information to variables. The email I format into a mail-to link, and the website as a blank website link so that it will open up a new browser tab or page. And then I create the delete links down here using get variables, and the same with the edit links. And then I display the table rows. For the add client page, I start the session at the top, and I have a function for validating the email on the website. It basically says if the filter variable for email validation does not pass, it will throw an alert to show an error and return false. And the same thing will happen with the website data, otherwise it will return true. And then I have a function to get the logo, which basically uses file upload information and sets an upload directory, and then the base name of the file along with concatenated with the upload directory here. And then it checks a substring of the base name for either JPG, JPEG, or PNG, and it will, if it has one of those, it will actually return the uploaded file's name along with the extension. Otherwise, it will return false, which means that there was not a logo uploaded or the logo chosen was incorrect. I also have an insert client function to insert into the database new clients. And then I have a if statement here that says if basically if the user clicks on the add button, it will check for the post method and then bind all the parameters from the input fields. And then it will call the validate email, the validate function that will validate the email and website, and then call an if statement to check to see if the client selected a logo or the user selected a logo. And then if so, it will insert and call the insert client and insert all that information, and then set a session message to client added, and then redirect back to the index page and stop the script. Otherwise, it's going to set the logo. If they did not choose a logo, it'll set the logo to the user.png, which is the default logo that I chose, and then insert the client information. And I have my client form here. And basically, if it throws an error and they have to reinsert some information or correct some information, I have in the form for the values to where if they've already inserted some information and then it throws an error, it will still keep their information that they typed in so that they don't have to retype everything. For my edit client page, I start a session at the top, and then it's basically the same thing as for the add client. I have the function to validate the email and website, a function to get the logo, and a function for updating the client, which is a tiny bit different. And it will take all of the information as the add client will, except for the SQL statement will be update clients, set the client name equals client name, and it will grab all the new information from the user's changed input fields. And then I also grab the client ID using get, so it knows which client that it should be adjusting and which client's information that it will show into the input fields. Okay, and this basically loops through and grabs the current clients by selecting it through the ID. User clicks on the update button. It will set all variable for all the information in the input fields and then validate the email and website, same as for the add user or add client, and or if they did change the logo, then it will update that as well. But otherwise, it gets the old logo and then restores it to this logo variable so that when it injects it in there, it will actually return the old logo into the update so that it will not change anything. And then I have basically my HTML form for the updating the client. For my delete client, it is simply just a script that runs whenever the user clicks on delete. After they have confirmed that they want to delete, it will call this page and make a database connection and then use a select statement to get the logo where the client IDs match. And then it will use a select statement to delete from clients where the IDs match. But the way I have it set up, it will execute the first statement to get the logo, and then it will fetch the information for that and set the exact image path for that logo, and then it will execute the delete statement, and it will check for the logo. It says if the file exists, if that logo exists in the folder, or inside of that I have another if statement, if the logo is not equal to that default user PNG, then it will actually delete the logo from the folder and remove it, and then send the user back to the index page. The footer that I included is nothing more than echoing out the actual foot of an HTML page so I can include all my JavaScript references. And then for the JavaScript, I'm using jQuery, and I have basically a self-executing function, and that is a privatized scope. It takes jQuery in and uses $sign as a parameter. And the first thing that I hear is just to fade out the messages after 5 seconds, and then I checks for the class of delete and binds an on-click function confirmation window whenever the user clicks on delete, and asks the question, would you like to delete this client? So thank you for watching my screencast, and I hope you enjoyed it.